Hey, what's up everybody? It's almost January and the Pixar Star Theater event is going to start relatively soon. So I want to just prepare you guys a little bit for next month's event and look ahead to see what missions there are. That way you could prepare a little bit on which Tsums to upgrade or maybe save your coins for future Tsums. So let's take a look at the 5 areas. So for Pixar Star Theater, it will start on January 3rd and you won't be able to play everything right away. You'll actually be only able to play 3 areas, and then after January the 7th, you'll be able to play additional 2 areas. I'm a little confused about the way they promoted it at the very bottom here. It says part 1 until area 2 from January 3rd midnight, and then part 2 will start from area 3 from January 7th. So it's a little confusing, but essentially what will happen is you'll be able to play 3 areas starting January 3rd. And then on January 7th and on, you'll be able to play 2 additional areas. Before this video, let's take a look at all 5 areas so that way you can see what there is to come and which Tsums to upgrade. So for area 1, it's really easy. Even if you started playing the game today, you'll be able to get through all of these missions relatively easily. For area 1, there are a total of 21 missions and there are some one-play missions in here. Those essentially are the more difficult ones, but like I said, they're all going to be really easy and you'll be able to get through them. And if you're able to complete area 1, there are different prizes that you could get in area 1. Some of which are 800 coins, there are score items, heart times 3, and a time item, also a 5-4 item. So there are some pretty fun items to get in here, nothing too amazing. But let's move on to area 2, and this one starts to get a little bit more difficult. For a majority of them, they're not going to be too difficult. There are a total of 26 missions in the second area. I think out of all 26 of these, there's only one that might be a little difficult, or it might take you a little bit more time if you are brand new to the game. There is a mission in here that is burst 7 magic bubbles in one play. And if you are brand new to the game, and essentially all you need to do is just get 7 skills activated, and most Tsums will give you a magic bubble after every single skill, so just activate 7 skills and you'll be able to do it. But really that's the hardest one in area 2. Everything else is relatively simple, and if you're able to complete area 2, you'll get some cool prizes in this one as well. So some of the prizes in area 2 is 800 coins, an XP boost, combo boost, magic bubble boost. There are 3 hearts and also a premium ticket in the second area. So hopefully you'll be able to get at least the premium ticket in area 2 because I think that could be very valuable for next month. Okay, on to area 3. Area 3 will have 30 missions in this little area, so there is a little bit more missions compared to area 1 and area 2. So at this part it starts to get a little bit more difficult, but still doable I think. There are 3 missions in here that are a little bit more difficult and you may need to play a little bit more to get through them. One of which is clear 510 Tsums in one play. That one might be a little bit more difficult if you don't have a Tsums that clear a lot of Tsum on the game. The next one is start 5 fever time in one play. So if you're really bad at making chains, this could get a little difficult. But if you've been playing for a while, this shouldn't be difficult. And then the last one that I think that could be a little bit challenging is score 2 million points in one play. So if you don't have a Tsum that gets decent amount of coins, then you might struggle a little bit for this one. But if you've been playing for a while, maybe like 2-3 weeks, then you should be okay for getting 2 million points. And if you are truly struggling with that, then maybe use a score boost and maybe even the 5-4. That should give you a little bit more boost to get more points. But yeah, area 3 shouldn't be too difficult. In this area, the prizes include 800 coins, 1 time boost, 1 level ticket, another 800 coins, 1 skill ticket, and also the silver pin. So if you're able to complete area 3, you'll automatically get the silver pin. So it's not too difficult to get the silver pin in all of these missions. Okay, so moving on to area 4. Now area 4 starts to get challenging, so if you don't have the right Tsums, this may get a little bit difficult, and this could be where you end, especially if you've only been playing for the first couple of weeks here, or maybe just getting back into the game and don't have a lot of good Tsums. But regardless, let's take a look because I think that you could prepare a little bit more. If you know that you're not going to be able to complete the rest of these missions, then maybe don't spend rubies or spend coins on trying to level up your Tsum because you know you won't be able to clear all of them anyway. So let's take a look. I have highlighted 5 missions in here that could be a little bit challenging. Everything else is relatively easy and you could get through them. All the ones that I'm going to highlight are all one-play Tsums because I think that all one-plays are a little bit more difficult. Everything else you could spend a little bit more time and you should be able to get through them. So the first one that I want to call out is clear 120 My Tsums in one play. So you do need to get through this relatively quickly. And if you are relatively new to the game and don't have a lot of those Tsums that replicate itself, that could get a little bit difficult. But there is a free Tsum like Jetpack Alien that could be really good for this type of mission. So hopefully you have at least that free Tsum that you could use to essentially clear a lot of My Tsums. The next one is Burst 60 Magic Bubble in one play. You have to have a good bubble maker for this, or you just have to have a Tsum that makes a lot of bubbles. Next one is Start Fever 8 times in one play. I think that one could be a little bit difficult. You have to play pretty fast here to get 8 fevers in one game without the right Tsum. But if you have those Start Fever Tsums, then that's not going to be difficult at all. The next one is Use Your Skill 12 times in one play. So this one, I would recommend using a Tsum that has a low charge time. So that way you can activate a lot of their abilities at one time. And then finally, the last one I think that could be a little bit difficult is Burst 11 Score Bubble in one play. So this one, if you have Gadget, it's definitely doable. But getting 11 Gadget activated at one game could be a little bit difficult. Me, personally, I'm going to use Moana because Moana is a good score bubble maker. But if you don't have the right Tsums, this might be where you end. But if you could get 11 score bubbles in one game, I definitely would recommend you to try to get Area 4 completed because you will get a premium ticket, which I think is worth it. So for this area, you will get 2,000 coins as one of the gifts. Next one is 3,000 coins, and then like I mentioned just now, a premium ticket, and then you're going to get an item set. So an item set essentially is every single item that you could get, all of these boosts. So you get one of each. And then you'll get one skill ticket, which allows you to level up any Tsum that you want. And then finally, your silver pin that you just got will turn into a gold pin. So that's what you will get for Area 4. Now the grand finale is Area 5. Area 5 has a lot less missions and it only has 25 missions. But don't let that fool you because Area 5 is the most difficult area and will require some patience to try to beat it. So I have highlighted a total of 9 missions that are more difficult to complete. And if you can't complete these missions, you might consider stopping because it is pretty difficult. The first one that I highlighted is Start Fever 8 times in one play. So for the most part, this isn't necessarily too difficult, but could be difficult for some that are relatively newer to the game. The next one is Use Your Skill 11 times in one play. So if you don't have a Tsum that has a low charge up time, then this might be where you stop. But one of the Tsums I mentioned earlier, Jetpack Alien, could be a good candidate for this. For me, I'm personally going to be using Owl because Owl, you can activate like 60, 70 abilities at one time. I will be covering Owl a little bit later, so you can check that out later on in January. The next one is clear 230 My Tsums in one play. So like I mentioned earlier, you have to have a Tsum that replicates itself a little bit more, so that way you can clear a bunch of My Tsums or your own copies in one play. Next one is get 5 time bubbles in one play. For me, I'm going to be using Shivering Piglet because Shivering Piglet guarantees you a time bubble every time you activate the ability. A lot of people are going to use Cinderella as well, or maybe even Charm Ariel because Charm Ariel is a good bubble maker. So if you have that Tsum, perfect for this mission. The next one is clear 6 big Tsums in one play, and I'm just going to loop in the very last one, which is clear 8 big Tsums in one play because making big Tsums can be difficult for some. But some good ones you could use is Sully, Baymax, Boo. I think those 3 are good Tsums that you could use to make big Tsums. So if you have one of those 3 Tsums, then it'll be perfect for making big bubbles. The next one is Burst 60 Magic Bubbles in one play. So if you have a bubble maker like Timothy, Parade Tinkerbell, Charm Ariel, those are all really good candidates for making bubbles. And then next is Start Fever 10 times. So you definitely will need to have a Tsum that will start Fever because I think it's nearly impossible to have 10 fevers in one play without a Start Fever Tsum. But I will try it to see if I'm able to do it. But I think that it's not necessarily possible unless you use the time boost and also getting a lot of time bubbles created at the same time per game. Alright, so next and last one is Burst 6 coin bubbles in one play. I will be using Charm Aerial for this because Charm Aerial is a good coin bubble maker. Actually, it's just a good bubble maker in general. So if you're able to get through all of these missions that I just highlighted, then you definitely won't have any problems clearing Area 5. So I would definitely recommend you to try to complete this whole area if you can. I think that this month's event will be a little bit tedious, which is why they're breaking it up into 5 different areas. But actually, let me cover the prizes as well for Area 5. So Area 5, you will get 2 score boost tickets, 1 combo ticket, 2,000 coins, 1 time ticket, a 5 forward ticket, and also the platinum pin. So really for Area 5, if you don't really care about the platinum pins and you just want the tickets, then you could technically start at Area 4. If you really want the pin like I do, then yeah, using some rubies might be worth it. But in terms of advancing in the game, you definitely don't need to get to Area 5 to get the platinum pin. And the platinum pin doesn't really do anything, it's just for show. So if you don't care to display your pin, then you definitely don't need to get it. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope that you guys found this video helpful in preparing for the Pixar Star Theater event. And if you have any questions about the missions coming up or any comments, definitely leave it below. And I'll definitely try to get to all of your comments below as soon as possible. And also, if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, or just any coverage of Tsum Tsum, definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.